So one thing that is important to know about the grenade, which is why we made new lineups, is that it doesn't do damage through line of sight. So I know that a lot of Killjoy lineups work and a lot of Viper Smoke lineups work, but if you throw this one here and he stands there, see, it doesn't actually damage him. And that's why we made new lineups for Kayo, because you need to place the grenade very precisely on corners so it damages on both sides. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ascent Kayo lineup guide. I know you guys been waiting for this, and finally it's here. We're gonna start with attack A, attack B, and then defense A and defense B. So first, I'm gonna show you the execute for A. So you get into this corner, and you aim up, and you put the top right corner of your bottom left HUD line right in this corner. That's gonna send the knife to mid sight, and it's gonna land on this side of the green box. So if they play back sight, they can't actually shoot it. Killjoy gets disabled, all the utilities disabled, and you can now run in. Since you're doing the lineup from back here, you can also flash your teammates in with a pop flash. So a pop flash is when the flash basically pops right above the entrance here, so that your teammates can just run right in. Jump exactly when you reach this line. So you just want to aim a bit to the left of this cannon camera thing here and upwards, so that it pops right above the entrance. So you can run here, jump and throw. You see this one? Boom! It explodes right above here. So one thing that is important to know about the grenade, which is why we made new lineups, is that it doesn't do damage through line of sight. So I know that a lot of Killjoy lineups work and a lot of Viper Smoke lineups work, but if you throw this one here and he stands there, see, it doesn't actually damage him. And that's why we made new lineups for Kayo, because you need to place the grenade very precisely on corners so it damages on both sides. If it's planted on generator, you can get into this green box here, and you place your bottom left HUD line right there, and you just throw it like that. And now it hits both sides. And if it's planted on dices or green boxes, you just aim for the tip of this one here. Same thing. So if the Killjoy ults in garden, you can place yourself next to this line like that. You take out your grenade, and you're just gonna put the top right corner right into this corner here, like that, and throw it. So the thing is that Killjoy always ults after you planted, so you have to make sure that you have time. So now I'm planting.
You should run.
Oh no, she ults. Get into the corner.
You should run.
And you throw it. For executing on B, you want a knife in the top half of this window, and it's gonna hit the roof here and hit most common spots, like if they play back here for instance, and disables all their utility. Also here you can flash your teammates in really nicely by getting into this corner, and you just see this spot here, just aim slightly out of it, and this is gonna flash right here. So it basically flashes both these spots, market and peaker. The only spot it doesn't flash is here. If you want to flash here instead, you can do that for yourself by bunny jumping on this box while right clicking out this window. Like that. Basically a flash for yourself. If it's planted on default behind green boxes, you can just run and throw while aiming around this area, like so. If you check tab and you know that Killjoy has her ult, you can get into this corner and get ready, because she's gonna probably ult behind the boat here, because it cannot be wallbanged. So then you can take your grenade out, and you just want to take the bottom right line on your right click indicator and just place it right there on this line, like so.
You should run.
Throw that up in the air. Nice. If you're playing backside, it is also possible to just aim above this roof and try to bounce it off the back wall if you don't have time to get into position. This is slightly less accurate, but by some practice you can do it. Like so. Let's do defense A now. So when you're defending as Kayo, you usually use the E to gather info, not to disable them. And then you save the second one for retaking a site. So if you're defending A, it's really nice to throw it up in this corner here, as that gives you a lot of info if they're playing lobby and trying to get the orb, for instance. If they're already planting on A site, you can either get into this corner here and look up at where these two corners of the cloud meet and do a jump and throw at the same time, like so. And this one should land right to the default on generator. So this one takes some time, which means that you need to learn how to predict when they're gonna come, because that one is kind of takes a while to travel. If you need a faster version of this lineup, you can get into this corner and wait for the door sound like I do with my shock darts, and then you aim slightly above this line, you run and you jump.
Grenade out.
Spike planted.
Let's do defense B. When defending B, depending on how early it is in the round, you can either send your knife to hit this corner in B main, or if you're doing it earlier in the round to get info further back, you can shoot it there. If it's already planted, or if they're pushing site, you can actually toss a really easy grenade that hits default. So you just want to run and leave a small gap open here and just aim above it and run and throw. You don't need to jump. Toss it like this. If you press tab and you see that Killjoy has her ult, you can actually get ready, because Killjoy ults are probably most likely gonna be on B. You can get into this corner here and kind of line up with this metal bar and just aim in the middle of this square, like this.
You should run. You should run. You should run.
And you have so much time. It bounces off there. And it hits the corner. And it's important that it hits the corner, because then it's not affected by line of sight in either of these positions. The reason why I don't really have a lot of knife lineups on defense is because it's very situational depending on what information you have. So for instance, if you're questioning if someone is still playing B main, then of course it could be nice to simply just knife this wall. You don't need lineups for this, and it's all about using the information you have in the round before deciding where to use your knife, if you have it. Okay, that was it for our Ascent KO lineups guide. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and tell me what map you want to see next. Okay, I'm doing it! I'm doing it now. Take 3000, a few years later. We just made a YouTube video, chat! Woo!